Nomenclature of coordination compounds in the today's video. Nomenclature coordination compounds. How to name, how to write IUPAC name for the coordination compounds. As discussed in the last class, you have collected the formula to write the formula of compound. Let's collect how to write the names, IUPAC names of coordination compounds in the today's class. So here some IUPAC rules were given. IUPAC rules one has to follow. There are rules given by the IUPAC system. Let's collect the rules one by one. Then later let's collect the examples to write the IUPAC names of coordination compounds, which has weightage of 2 marks in the examination. 2 marks in the examination. Well, see what are the IUPAC rules that one supposed to follow while writing the IUPAC name of a coordination compound. First one, rule 1 says the cation is named first. The cation is named first. Cation is named first. In both positively and negatively charged entities. The cation part is named first. In both the positively and negatively charged coordination entity, followed by the name of anion. Cation is named first in both positively and negatively charged coordination entities, followed by the name of anion. Followed by the name of anion. This is rule 1 and it is very clear. If I take sodium chloride, if one asks to write commonly inorganic salt, familiar salt, sodium chloride. So what we write first? Here the cationic part of the salt, Cl, anionic part of the salt. As we follow commonly in writing the name of any inorganic salt, cation first, anion in the next way, followed by anion. Same, the rule is to be followed even in writing the coordination compound. What rule 1 says? The cation part, the cation is named first. It may be in the positively charged coordination entity or coordination sphere, or a negatively charged. Then very next followed by the name of anion. Second one. So what is this second rule says? So the ligands are named before. Ligands are named before the name of, before the central metal atom or ion in an alphabetical order. So what rule second says? The second rule says the ligands are named before the central metal atom or ion. The ligands in the coordination compounds are named before the name of a central metal atom or ion in an alphabetical order. Third one. The ligands, the anionic ligands ends with O, ends with O, ends with O. Example, Cl minus, it is a monodentate, negative monodentate ligand. It should be written like cyanido, cyanido. Anion ligand ends with O, cyanide, cyanido. OH minus, hydroxide, hydroxido, hydroxide, hydroxide. Cl minus, cyanido, OH minus, hydroxide. Like that. Cl minus, chloride. Since it is a negative ligand, it should end with chlorido, chlorido. So like this, even if you take SO4 2 minus, SO4 2 minus, SO4 2 minus, name of this ligand is sulfate ligand. So this should end with sulfato, sulfato. So this is how the third rule says. After covering the second one, the ligands are given alphabetical order before the name of the central metal ion in an alphabetical order. The third rule says that in writing the ligand, the anionic ligands should written with the ending letter O. Like Cl minus has cyanido, OH minus has hydroxide, hydroxido, chlorido, sulfato, carbonato, etc. Like that. In continuation of the third rule, that correct in continuation. Whereas anionic ligands with the neutral ligands, cationic ligands ends with IUM, ends with IUM, ends with IUM. Example, NO2 plus, it is a nitronium, NO plus should end with nitrosonium, So NH2, NH3 plus limited positive ligands are there, monodentate ligands are there. NH2, NH3 plus hydrogen, hydrazinium. Like this. In the third rule, anionic ligand should end with O. The cationic ligand should end with IUM. They should end with IUM in the alphabetical order only. In the IUM, like NO2 plus nitronium, NO plus nitrosonium, NH2, NH3 plus hydrazinium, like that. Neutral ligands such as H2O should be written as aqua. NH3 should be written as amine. CO must be written as carbonyl. Aqua, amine, carbon, NO, nitrosyl. So these are the familiar neutral ligands that should be given an exceptional name. H2O, water as aqua, ammonia as amine, CO as carbonyl, NO as nitrosyl, neutral ligands. When organic molecules, pyridine should end as pyridine only. Organic ligands should be written as such. So this is what the IUPAC rule number 3 says. So what about fourth rule? What about the IUPAC fourth rule? Fourth rule says the prefixes Greek prefixes like mono, di, tri, etc. Mono, di, tri, tetra, penta, hexa, etc. should be used to indicate the number of ligands. So what the fourth rule says? The Greek prefixes like mono, di, tetra. Mono for representing the single ligand. Di if it is 2. Tri if there are 3 ligands. Like that, the Greek prefixes mono, di, tri, tetra, penta, etc. They are used to indicate the number of ligands in the coordination entity. In going further, if already a Greek prefix, if it appears in the ligand itself, such as if I take ene like this, ene, which is a ethylene diamine. So ene, what it represents? Ethane 1,2 diamine. Ethane 1,2 diamine. So this is what ene is a ligand. Already a Greek prefix appears in the name of a ligand. In such case, the same Greek prefixes like mono, di, tri should not be used. The same prefixes which have already appeared in the name of a ligand, polydentate ligand, should not be used. In such case, the prefixes like bis indicating the 2, tris, tetrakis, etc. should be used to indicate the 2, 3, 4 such polydentate ligands which involve a Greek prefix in name of themselves. So this is how the fourth rule completes. Then coming to the IUPAC fifth rule. So before we go to collect the fifth rule, let highlight on this, then later we go to the fifth rule. So what is the first one? The cation part must be written first, both in positive or negatively charged coordination entity or sphere, followed by the name of anion. Second, the ligands are named before the name of central metal atom in an alphabetical order. And while writing the ligands, anionic ligand should end with O, cationic ligand should end with IUM, neutral ligand should be named as given, followed by the fourth rule, the prefixes. If there are more than one ligands, maybe a same ligand or a different ligands are there in the coordination entity, those number of ligands present in the coordination entity were represented by the use of Greek prefixes like mono, di, tri, tetra and so on. If already a Greek prefix, if it appear in the name of a ligand, polydentate ligands like ene, ethylene diamine, diene, diethylene triamine, triene, triethylene tetramine, EDTA. So what is that? Ethylene diamine tetraacetate. Already a Greek prefixes have appeared in EDTA. When writing the two molecules of EDTA, So di-EDTA is a wrong. So bis-EDTA, that is appropriate. That means if there appears a ligand with a Greek prefix in it, then the IUPAC rules were given bis is to be used to indicate the number 2, tris for the number 3, tetratis for the number 4. This is how the fourth rule completes. Now let go to collect the fifth rule. What fifth rule says? Let have observation of the fifth rule. What is the fifth rule? Come on, collect the fifth rule one. Rule number 5, fifth rule. What it says? Oxidation state of the metal, central atom, oxidation state of the central metal atom or ion should be written. Oxidation state of the central metal atom or ion should be written in Roman numbers. Roman numerals. That too in the parenthesis, and is mentioned in the bracket, parenthesis, and it should be mentioned in the bracket. So the oxidation state, same as oxidation number of the central metal atom, should be expressed in the Roman numbers and is mentioned within the parenthesis, means in the bracket. Sixth rule. What this rule says? If the name of central metal atom or ion. This is regarding the name of central metal atom or ion. So what is that? The name of the central metal atom or ion in the cationic complex. In the cationic complexes should be written same. In the cationic complexes, the cobalt, the central metal atom CO is expressed as cobalt only. They were written as such. So Cu as copper only. Then Pt as platinum only. So cobalt, Zn as zinc only. Like this. Name of the central metal atom should be written same. If it is copper, as copper only. If the central metal atom in the cationic complex is zinc, it should be written as zinc. If it is platinum, it should be written as platinum. If the same central metal atoms in the anionic complex, please do remember this point, very important. So the name of the central metal atom or ion in the cationic complexes, the name of the metal is written as such. Name of cobalt, Co as cobalt, Cu as copper, Pt as platinum, Zn as zinc. The name of the metal is written same in the cationic complexes, but a slight change in the anionic complexes. So in the anionic complexes, the metal should end with, the name of the metal should end with 8. Should end with what? 8. So this is a change. So I can give you an idea here. CO, same. CO, it should be written the same metal, but in the anionic complex should be written as cobaltate. So Pt as platinate. Pt as platinate, Cu as cuprate, Zn zincate. This is what the sixth rule says. This is with respect to name of the central metal atom. In the cationic complex, the metal carries the same name followed by its oxidation state in the bracket. Anionic complex, the metal atom should end with 8. Cobalt as cobaltate, platinum as platinate, copper as cuprate, zinc as zincate, like that. Even some of the metal atom, they take their Latin names. Like if I take Ag here, Ag, it is argentate, Ag, argentate. Au, aurate, Au, aurate, aurate. Like this, the sixth rule says. Then coming to the last. So what is the last rule says? In the neutral complex. This is what regarding the neutral complex. Then in naming the neutral complex, it should, the same IUPAC rules were followed as we followed for the cationic complexes. The same rules were followed for the naming of neutral complexes, and the name of the central metal atom or symbol of the central metal atom should be written with zero oxidation state, in the bracket, in the parenthesis. This is the seventh rule. So these are all the rules to write the IUPAC names of the coordination compounds. So I hope you followed this, and these rules, if you not remember, but while practicing the names, while practicing some examples, while writing the names of compounds, you will be followed, and several compounds are given in the printed notes. You go through and practice them, which will appear in the examination with the weightage of 2 marks. Okay, now let's collect some of the examples. Now let's start in writing the IUPAC names of coordination compound. Let's start with the example of cationic complexes. Let's start with the example of cationic complexes. Cationic complexes. Cationic complexes. So as a short note, you should remember in the cationic complexes, what you have to follow the rules in a short form. First, you have to take the name of ligand, in alphabetical order, name of ligand in alphabetical order. First it is to be followed, name of ligand in alphabetical order. Next, what next is to be followed? It is the name of central metal atom. Name of central metal atom or ion. Second, followed by the oxidation number of central metal atom or ion in Roman numbers. In Roman number, that too in the bracket. So keep remember, name of the ligand must be written in alphabetical order. While writing naming the cationic complexes, name of ligand in alphabetical order, name of the central metal atom or ion, oxidation number of the central metal ion in the Roman numbers, followed by lastly the name of anion, simple anion, name of simple anion. So this is what? A short note or a observation one should have in writing the cationic complexes. First you have to collect the name of ligands in the alphabetical order, followed by name of the central metal atom and its Roman number in the bracket, followed by the name of simple anion. Let's start. Let's take the examples one by one. We will collect the idea. You will collect the idea. Number one. So let me take first. Let me write those names. Later we analyze one by one. So what is this complex? CrNH3 taken thrice, H2O taken thrice, Cl3. Okay. Next, second one. We will collect one by one. What is the name of this one? In continuation only. Second, CONH3 taken 4 times, H2O twice, Cl3. Third one. So the third one is let's take it different. PT name it is, we will collect EN taken thrice, Cl3. En taken thrice, Cl3. Well, later we collect many examples. Let's see and check about these three. I said a short indication, short route to gather all the IUPAC rules in one glance while writing the cationic complexes. Name of the ligand is to be followed. Come on. In the alphabetical order, name of the ligands in the alphabetical order. Apply those rules here. So central metal atom is chromium. There are two ligands. So amine ligand and aqua ligand. As you know, amine, aqua, in the alphabetical order, first letter starts with A. But when you look into the second letter of these ligands respectively, the amine takes the first position, priority, then later aqua. So this is how many ammonia molecules are there? 3. The Greek prefix must be tri. So it should start with small letters. Do remember? The name of the coordination compound in the IUPAC system should not start with capital letters. It should start with small letters only. Well, cationic complexes. So triamine. Next, triaqua. There should not be any gap. Triaqua, triamine, triaqua. After collecting the name of the ligands in the alphabetical order, this part is over. What next? It is the name of central metal atom. Since it is cationic complex, the name of the metal is written as such, chromium itself. If in the anionic, it should be written as chromate, but cationic, chromium. So with no gap, you write chromium. With no gap, you write chromium. Then, after writing the name of the central metal atom, what is next? Its oxidation number in the Roman, that too in the parenthesis, in the bracket. So, what is the oxidation number? You do calculate at corner of a page roughly, or by practice, you can say it is a neutral ligand. It is also neutral ligand. So, this is a chloride with a monovalent negative charge 3 minus, so that becomes plus 3. So x plus 0 minus 3 equals to 0. X equals to 3. Therefore, Roman numeral 1, 2, 3 with Roman number. So this is what we have represented the cationic part. Do understand? See, once you get the idea, definitely you will follow very fast in the next examples. So I have to convince you these three. Later you can write about 30 of more than 30 names without any difficulty. So this is the cationic complex. So this is a complex ion part. As per the rule, first ligand must be written alphabetically. Amine, aqua. Both starts with letter A only. But why I have chosen amine? Because when you look while writing amine, next to A you get M in the amine. After the A you get Q. But looking into the second letter in the name of these ligands, amine comes alphabetically first and the aqua comes next. Therefore, how many amine ligands are there? 3. Greek prefix tri. How many aqua ligands are there? 3 aqua ligands. Greek prefix 3. Therefore, triamine with no gap, triaqua with further also no gap, central metal atom chromium, followed by its oxidation number. You have calculated the oxidation numbers in the previous classes that you have to write with a small gap. Here you can leave a gap with a small gap. This is what cationic part is over. Now you can write the anionic part, which is chloride. Yes, this completes the name of the first compound, cationic complex. Come on, go to the second one. So here you have further same, but the ligand number is different. Second one, with no difficulty you can write. See, central metal was chromium, but here it is cobalt. Ligand was same, but there were 3 ligand, but here 4, 3, 2. Now, let's practice this. So, first priority again amine ligand. So, what is the number of amine ligands for Greek prefix? It is a tetra. Amine, tetraamine, diaqua, tetraamine, diaqua. Central metal atom, cobalt, as cobalt only, cobalt. Then next, bracket its oxidation number. Again you calculate X plus 0, neutral ligand plus 0, minus 3 equals to 0. Therefore the oxidation number is 3 again for the cobalt in the second complex. So followed by its anionic part, chloride, with a small gap, chloride. This is how the second example over. Come on, go to the next third one. Slight as compared to these two, slight difficult, not difficult. You have to recall the IPAC rules, that's all. Come on. Now, first you have to identify what is this ligand. As the rule says, first collect the ligand and Greek prefix by how many ligands are there. In stands for what? In stands for what? It is ethylene diamine. Ethylene diamine commonly, but IPAC name is ethane 1,2 diamine. So here, how many in ligands are there? How many? It is a bidentate ligand, remember? It is a bidentate ligand. How many in ligands are there? Ethylene diamine ligands are there? 3 are there. But already a Greek prefix is there in the name of this ligand itself. Then what is to be used? Hope you remember or recall the rule. If already a Greek prefix contains in the name of a ligand, then bi, di, tri should not be used, but instead bis, tris, tetrakis. So those prefixes must be used 3. Therefore I can write tris. TRIS, tris. Tris indicating the 3 number of En ligands. Tris, then in the bracket you have to write the name of this ligand, not as in but as ethane 1 comma 2 diamine, ethane 1 comma 2 diamine, ethane 1 comma 2 diamine. Yes, this is ligand part over. What next? Cobalt with no gap, cobalt. Then oxidation number in the bracket. Again this is also a neutral ligand, Cl -1 -1 -1 -3. So this is oxidation number 3. And chloride with a small gap, and chloride. So this is how the 3 examples of cationic complexes you have taken. Now let's collect few more examples of cationic, then we go to name the anionic complexes. Come on. So what is the next one? Next, let me rub this. Fourth one, CO, NH3 5 times, Cl, Cl2. Okay. Fifth, which is CO, NH3 5 times, CO3, Cl. Sixth one. So what is that sixth one? CO, many CO, Cl2, En taken twice, Cl, Cl is outside the square bracket, Cl. Now let follow the IUPAC rules in writing the 3 more coordination compounds, which are examples of cationic only. These 3 over next 3. Now apply yourself, recall ligand names. So this is chlorido ligand, this is amine ligand. So amine comes first, pentamine, next chlorido. Anion ligands must be written or end with O, chlorido. Pentamine, chlorido. Cobalt with no gap, cobalt. Its oxidation number in the bracket, that too in the Roman number. So here X, neutral ligand, +0, -1, -2 equals to 0, X -3 equals to 0, therefore X equals to 3, and with a small gap, chloride, anionic part. This is cationic part, anionic part, chloride. That completes the 4th example. Name of the 4th cationic complex. Come on, 5th one. Again 2 ligands, amine, carbonato, negative, CO3 2 minus, charge, carbonato ligand. So here pentamine, pentamine. Next, carbonato, cobalt, oxidation state X plus 0 since it is neutral, minus 2 carbonate CO3 2 minus X plus 0 minus 2 minus 1, X minus 3 equals to 0, X equals to 3. Anion chloride. Next, COCl2 En taken twice Cl. Now there are two ligands, chloridoethylene diamine. Now which comes first? Remember, this is chlorido ligand Cl. This comes name with ethane 1,2 diamine. So C comes first as per the alphabetical order. It is dichlorido. Again, like in the third example, ene. So how many ene ligands are there? 2. 2 means the the prefix given by the IPAC rule is bis. For 2 it is bis. But in the third example there were 3 en. What we have used, the prefix tris was used. For 2 bis with no gap, bis. Bracket En, name of the ligand ethane 1,2 diamine. Ethane 1,2 diamine. Now what is the central metal atom? Cobalt. Oxidation number you can check, X minus 2, since it is monovalent negative, minus 1, X minus 2, neutral plus 0, minus 1 equals to 0. I repeat, X minus 2 plus 0, minus 1 equals to 0. X minus 3 equals to 0 implies X equals to 3. Therefore oxidation number is 3. And outside the square bracket anionic part is chloride. So this is how 3 more examples of the cationic complexes we have collected. Let's see 3 more before we go to name the anionic complexes. Come on, collect the examples. Example number 7. CO NH2 like this given, CH2 NH2 only taken 3 times, whole square bracket taken 2 times, and outside the square bracket it is SO4 taken thrice. Eighth one. So what is this eighth one? PT, platinum central metal atom, PT, NH3 taken twice, Cl in the bracket, NH2 CH3 square bracket closed, you will have Cl outside the square bracket. Example 8. Example 8th one over. Now next is the anionic. Now let look at these two. How to write the name of this compound? Come on, apply the same rules. CO, NH2, CH2, CH2, NH2 taken thrice. This whole entity is nothing but ethylene diamine. This whole entity is nothing but what? It is ethylene 1 diamine 1, 2, ethane 1, 2 diamine. But instead of short form, it was given with the entire formula. Come on, how many molecules of ethane 1, 2 diamine are there? Same 3. Therefore, it is a tris. Tris bracket ethane 1, 2 diamine. Ethane 1, 2 diamine. Ethane 1, 2 diamine. Close the bracket. Now, tris ethane 1, 2 diamine. What next is the cobalt? Cobalt, central metal atom cobalt, and its oxidation number. And what is the anion? Sulfate. With gap you can write sulfate. Oxidation number, which you have to write on your own. The charge on the anion is to be balanced by the charge on the cation. The main fundamental rule says. See, SO4 you know. What is the charge of SO4 radical? Sulfate radical -2. How many times? What are the number of sulfate ions? 3. -2 into 3 times -6. The net negative charge is -6. The net negative charge on this complex is -6. So it is to be balanced by what? This is the net charge on the anion. The net charge on the anion in the whole salt, neutral salt. The net charge on the anion is balanced by net charge on the cation. This is the cationic part. What should be the charge on the cationic? It must be +6. It must be +6 on the entire cation. See, how many molecules of cations are there? 2 are there. And obviously what the charge of individual it indicates, it should be 3. Therefore, tris ethane 1, 2 diamine cobalt, whose oxidation number is 3. Net charge is +6, but how many times of this cation are there? 2 times. Each charge is equal to +3, which is indicated by Roman number 3. So look at the next one. So here you have amine ligand, chlorido ligand, and this is methylamine, CS3NH2 methylamine. So come on, first as per the alphabetical order 1, 2, 3. So amine comes diamine, chlorido, diamine, chlorido. So this is name of the ligand. You write methylamine, close the bracket, followed by what is the central metal? Platinum. Oxidation state, you calculate oxidation state. So neutral X +0 -1 +0 -1. I repeat, X +0 neutral -1 +0 plus of -1, which is equals to X +0 plus -1. X +0 -1 0 -1 2. It is 2. Let me write clearly. X neutral ligand 0, into any number is 0, plus of minus 1 Cl minus 1, plus again neutral ligand 0, then plus of minus 1 0. So this is x minus 1 equals to 0, x minus 2 equals to 0, x equals to 2, hence plus 2, x equals to plus 2. So the Roman number 2 is written, and anion is Cl, chloride with a small gap, chloride. This is how we have collected few examples of cationic complexes, and hope you followed this. And there are many examples for the anionic complexes followed by neutral. Then we shall have the IUPAC naming of anionic complexes, neutral complexes in the next video. Thank you, students.